Hello, dear parents. Welcome to my first series. Hello and good evening, dear parents. Welcome to my first series on how to develop critical thinking among the students. So, as we know, we are moving ahead towards the 21st century, and we talk about the various skills when we are going towards 21st century. We talk about four important C's. What are those four C's? One is the creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. So, as we know that our schools are working on art integration, creativity, we can say, but not up to that much extent that we are looking for, like the CBSE or the NEP is looking for. And the communication part, that is a conversational part. See, communication doesn't mean that communication should be in your English language. Communication means a child should be able to express his or her views according to the age to the recipient, because communication is always bi-directional. It should not be a one way communication. If the child is able to express themselves, that is a one way communication. And moreover, the second important thing is the listening skill also. If the child is able to listen effectively, because that is also a part of communication. So when we talk about communication, it's not only about speaking skills, it's also about listening, reading, and writing skills also. Because if we talk about the inclusivity in the classrooms, for example, if we are having a child, he's not able to speak, so how he will that child can express themselves? Only by using the sign language, or by the sign language, or maybe by expression of the thoughts, by writing, even by reading what kind of content we read. That also determines our personality. So, on the basis of this, like the most important part in developing the four C's is the critical thinking. So, in my series, I have taken lot many activities, the grade appropriate activities, where we will discuss about how to develop critical thinking among the students. So, we were talking about critical thinking, which is the most important C in developing the 21st century skills. So, like when we talk about critical thinking, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Critical thinking means critical analysis of a situation. For example, like we are going to market, and if the child is sitting on the front seat in our lap, for example, so if we ask that like where we have to take turn to go to the nanny house or for the market, so it will say it's left, it's right, then go straight and turn right, like that. So this is a kind of a critical thinking you are building while enjoying your ride, enjoy your journey. And moreover, what we can do to ask them read the hoardings. That will again develop the vocabulary, and that will also develop their new words, you can say. So, see, learning is everywhere. It's not in the classroom where the child is going to sit for so long hours in the school only. Every time, every moment, every second, the learning is being taken place. But it's up to us how we effectively inculcate that skill in our child. If we ask a child to read the hoardings, the boards, the nameplates, so what we are doing, see, this is one a kind of a testimonial to test the skills that he and she is already learning at school, the whether it is phonics, whether it is language. So that is again a skill. But when we talk about number sense, because as you know, the NEPs primarily focus on FLN skills. What is that? Foundational literacy and numeracy skills at the foundational stage from class, up to class second, we can say the Balvatika class, Balvatika group. So how we can develop that number sense? So, first of all, whenever the teacher is, whatever the activity the child is doing in the classroom, always give exposure to your children in the various kind of Olympiads, which are appropriate to their respective ages. So, because the age appropriate activity is always necessary. If your class child is in grade 1, for example, or if I say like it's in UKG class, so what are the basic learning outcomes that one wants from the grade UKG prep 2 student or grade 1 student? What are the requirements which are being set by the government or by the national education policy? What are the criterias of the various learning outcomes for that particular age group? So, like if we talk about the mathematics, if we talk about language, the child must be able to recognize the letters, to form the words, to read, and to frame a sentence also. Similarly, if we talk about foundational literacy, that was literacy and numeracy, child must be having number sense. Arrange the groups smaller, lesser, heavy and light, short and large. And the same we talk about the time concept also. That may be able to rate the clocks, analog clocks, not the digital ones. Obviously, the child is reading the numbers, so the time concept is very important. That data handling is also now data handling is not like something that you are teaching them like as a different concept. All the concepts which we are taken in maths or for the grade 1, if we say, they are all related to the number sense. Number sense how, like for example, you can ask them, for example, you take some time to the kitchen despite of their gender. Yeah, otherwise you can ask them to sort their toys. Now, what are their toys are having? For example, there are the blocks. Some may be of the square shape, some may be of the triangle shape, some may be of the some other shape. We can say it's a circular shape also. So ask them to define the various categories, various shape category. Now, how many circular shape objects are there into that? How many triangular shapes are there? How many rectangular shapes objects are there? So in that way, that is a kind of a data handling. And now the question skills arises how to, because see, critical thinking means asking why. So in my next episode, I will primarily focus on how to trigger that tendency in the child to ask more questions. Because when a child is asking you the why for the reason behind everything, na, it means the child is developing the critical thinking. So whenever the child asking you why it is happening, why so, so don't ignore those questions. Just make yourself capable of answering those questions, whether it is classroom, whether it is at home. For example, being a teacher, sometimes we don't know every answer, na? So we can politely ask the child that, okay, I'll search and I'll tell you tomorrow, in a more interesting manner. Maybe I will build a story around it. That is the biggest art, storytelling. Or we will do one kind of activity on the basis of that. So this is how we can't ignore 21st century skills. So in this series, we have seven series episodes in this series of developing 21st century skills among the students, among the children of various age groups. We'll talk about various age groups. So primarily my focus was today in first episode was what are the 21st century skills, how we can work from the very beginning, from the very toddler kind of age of students to the next level, from the primary level, how we'll move on towards the primary level. So in my lecture today, I'm going to tell you one book that again can help. If you purchase that book and you read along with your child, so that will really help them to rewind their brain activity. In the title of the book is, I will tell you in the last, that is by Ashley Spires. The writer of the book is Ashley. It is a very renowned writer. And What a Magnificent Life. Title of the book is What a Magnificent Life. So I'm just giving you a very small review of the book. So in the there's a story behind the girl which is coming across the various life incidents, and she's trying and tested so and so so many so things, and how the things work out. Because sometimes, see, when we are building something, when we are creating, it is not necessarily that we are going to get result at the same very moment. So sometimes building, rebuilding, and again trying and trying until you succeed. That is the moral of the story, we can say. But the procedure of that doing, undoing the things, it's a weave of the that storybook. I'm telling the title again, What a Magnificent Life. So go and read the book along with your child, and comment in the chat box, in the comment box, that how what is the feedback regarding my this first series, and how you want me to improve further. And later on this series, I will bring you so many activities, and I will tell you so many scholastic books are also there. One of the book I will show you here also, that is my personal favorite for the very in LKG and the UKG kind of students, if I say, brainstorming book. One of the I purchased this book from one of the book fair at some of the school in Hisar only. So brainstorming activities, one book is there from Scholastic publication, and that book is really wonderful for the students. And every parent whose child is of age group 4 to 6 years, they must go through those books. That book is having the various kind of activities, which is crossword kind of activities, spell bee kind of activities, drop a letter, add a letter. Means that is a really a good combination of developing the critical thinking among the students in the very early age. So thank you so much, and stay tuned for my next episode. And whatever the books I'm asking you to go through, I will put the in the description box the name of those books. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for my next lecture, next video. Till then, bye bye and take care. Thank you so much.